There's breathing coming from my mirror. It was 3 in the morning and I couldn't sleep. Something was keeping me up, but I didn't know what it was at first. Then I heard it. It was coming from my full-length mirror in the corner of my room. At first I thought it was my dog, Bailey, snoring. But I knew he wasn't the one breathing. I got out of bed to investigate. It was then that I saw it. The reflection of a pair of lungs inflating and deflating in my mirror. My blood ran cold. What was this thing in my mirror? And how was I not seeing it before? I'd always hated mirrors because they showed me how fat or ugly or awkward I was. Now I loved them because they showed me the world. I could see everything through my mirror, my garden, the street, the park across the road, all from the comfort of my bedroom. And now I could see this creature breathing in my mirror right outside my window. I went closer to the glass and cupped my hands around my mouth and yelled, "Hey, are you in there?" Silence. Then the breathing stopped. I waited, hoping it would start again so I could get another look at whatever was in there. But it didn't. So I returned to bed. The next morning after, of course, not sleeping at all, I got up and went straight to my mirror. But there was nothing there. No sign of the previous night's visitor. Maybe I'd imagined it. I told myself that as I made breakfast. But when I turned to pour some orange juice, I caught my reflection in the fridge door. And there it was, a dark mark under my left shoulder blade, a perfectly round, dark circle where there hadn't been anything the day before. My mind raced. Was it a birthmark? But I knew I didn't have one there before. Had I always had it? Why didn't I notice who had seen it? Had the creature seen it? All these questions raced through my head as I drove to work. When I arrived, I went straight to the bathroom and stared at myself in the mirror. That's when I noticed something else. A small, barely noticeable scratch on my neck, just below my jawline. I ran my fingers over it. It felt raised, like a small divot in my skin. Fear started creeping up my spine. What was happening to me? What was this creature doing to me? At lunch, I called my sister. I had to tell someone about this. She was skeptical, to say the least. "You're making this up," she said with a laugh. "You're trying to scare me." I could tell by her tone that she didn't believe me, but I didn't care. I needed to tell someone. I told her about the breathing, the strange mark, the scratch. She stayed silent for a moment. "Are you sure you haven't been drinking?" she finally asked. "Look, I'm serious," I said, feeling tears pricking my eyes. But she hung up on me, so I went back to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror. I saw another change. Now there were 2 marks on my neck, one on each side, perfectly round. Panic started rising within me. This was no longer a joke. I had to do something. But what? That's when I remembered my mom. She was always talking about herbal remedies and natural health products. Maybe she'd know what to do. I found her number in my phone and dialed it. She answered on the 3rd ring. "Mom, I need your help," I said, my voice shaking. She sounded concerned now and asked what was wrong. I explained about the breathing, the scratches, the marks. Again, she listened patiently, but when I finished, she said, "Why don't you try drinking some warm water with lemon? It helps with a lot of things," she said. I knew she wasn't really listening to me. She probably thought I was going crazy. I ended the call and went back to the bathroom. I splashed cold water on my face and stared into the mirror. What was I going to do? Should I call the police? They'd never believe me. What was I supposed to tell them? I saw a monster in my mirror and it scratched me. They'd think I was insane. No one believed me. No one was going to help me. I was alone, sat on the toilet, defeated. That's when I felt it, a sharp prick on my neck. I turned around in a panic, but there was nothing there. Then I looked back at the mirror. There was another scratch on my neck right where the other 2 were. This new one was red and angry looking. Fear propelled me out of the bathroom and back to my car. I had to get away from here. I had to get away from the mirror. I drove aimlessly for hours, stopping only when I ran out of gas. As I walked to the nearest convenience store to get some more, I kept my eyes forward, never looking to my side or above me, afraid of what I might see. At the gas station, I pumped the gas without looking at the numbers ticking over. I had to get home, though. I didn't know if the scratches would show up on the security cameras, but I had to take the chance. As I pulled into my driveway, I kept my eyes fixed on the road. I couldn't bring myself to look at my house, to look at the mirror. But when I stepped out of my car, I knew I couldn't keep running forever. I had to face it. I had to face whatever was in my mirror. With trembling hands, I unlocked the front door and stepped inside. The hallway seemed darker than usual. I flipped on all the lights, but it didn't help. The darkness seemed to seep into my bones. I walked slowly to the mirror, my eyes fixed on the floor. I knew what I was about to see would be bad, but I had to know for sure. Then I saw it, the dark mark under my shoulder blade. But it was different. It was bigger, darker, deeper. The skin around it was red and swollen. And as I watched in horror, it started to move. It writhed like a living thing, coiling and uncoiling, expanding and contracting. Fear paralyzed me. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. I was frozen in place as I watched the creature move under my skin. Then it burst through the surface, tearing my flesh like a cheap suit. The pain was excruciating, bringing tears to my eyes. I screamed as I stumbled backward, falling to the floor. The creature emerged from its hole, revealing itself in all its glory. It was a leech, a giant leech, its skin a sickly green color. Its mouth was a gaping wound filled with sharp, jagged teeth. Its eyes, two glowing orbs of pure evil, stared directly at me. I scrambled back, my mind racing. I had to do something, anything to stop this thing. But what? Just as the leech lunged at me, I grabbed a nearby candlestick and swung it at the creature. It let out a screech, a sound that sent shivers down my spine, and recoiled from the blow. I hit it again and again, each blow making the leech screech. Finally, it stopped moving. Panting heavily, I watched as the leech slithered away, disappearing into the darkness under my bed. I knew it would come back, but I was ready for it. I picked up the candlestick and waited. Sure enough, the leech emerged from its hiding spot, its body limp, its head drooping. I struck the killing blow, and the leech let out one last screech before collapsing. I stared at the dead creature in my hand, my heart pounding. I had one, but at what cost? The scratches, the bites, the pain, the fear, it was all too much. I sank to the floor, my whole body aching. I had to get out of here, out of this house, out of this town. I needed to find help, real help. As I stumbled out the front door, I knew one thing. I would never look in a mirror again. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to leave us a like and share with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying tales. Thanks for watching.
Ow.
We'll see you next time.